Our job is to report the news, not fabricate it. That's the government's job.
Right, so for those who don't know, Fox News have joined CNN in recent days, calling Biden as president despite nothing being set in stone, and Trump taking various states to court, as I'm sure you will already know. Fox News actually cut away from the White House press secretary speaking yesterday, claiming they cannot show people it in good conscience, which to me says they cannot show it to you because they want to cover it up. Fox host Neil Cavato cut her off, saying the claims being made are unsubstantiated, despite the fact that the Attorney General has authorized an investigation into substantial allegations of voting irregularities, which says to me Bill Barr has seen some of the evidence that Trump has. As we all know, there is plenty of rumours around about this evidence, which just adds to all the evidence that's floating around out there that people can publicly find themselves, both circumstantial and what appears to be concrete signs of dirty tricks by local Democrat officials. Now, the Telegraph have sort of reported on the news that the Attorney General has given the go-ahead for an investigation, but is still shilling for Biden, saying that they are without evidence, which we all know is bullshit at this point. Counties have flipped from Biden to Trump after so-called glitches that may well have happened elsewhere. I actually can't wait for all this to come out, and these media shitweasels will have to change what they have reported and show the world that they literally have no credibility left. It does make me laugh though that the Telegraph report on investigations into voting fraud but still claim it is without evidence. Like I said, for the Attorney General to give the go-ahead, something must have said to him this needs to be looked at. But the Telegraph short article headlines, US election results. Attorney General tells prosecutors to investigate Donald Trump's voter fraud claims. The US Attorney General has given the go-ahead for federal prosecutors to pursue substantial allegations of voting irregularities during last week's presidential election. William Barr's actions raised the prospect of Donald Trump using the Justice Department to challenge the outcome of the election. No, he is using the Justice Department to challenge the bullshit fraud that is likely going on, not to challenge the outcome of the election. That is some fraudulent reporting right there by the Telegraph. And they even add to that by saying which the president claims without evidence was fraudulent. No, there apparently is plenty of evidence out there. We have many people giving sworn statements that this has happened, so they will stand in a court of law and give that under oath. That to me suggests evidence could well be there, and that's just their testimony. Witness evidence, while unreliable, is still admissible in a court of law, remember. It comes after Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, and Ronna McDaniel, chairwoman of the Republican National Committee, repeated the baseless claims at a press conference on Monday before Fox News cut off its broadcast, as I was saying earlier, telling viewers it cannot in good conscience continue showing this. Now, if you ask me, we cannot in good conscience continue to let Fox News exist if that's the way they are going. People should just boycott the shit out of it. At the end of the day, all of these news organisations were happy to broadcast the Russia bullshit, which had no evidence whatsoever. This, at least it seems, actually has some evidence, so CNN, Fox News and the rest of them are all full of shit. It finishes up though, Mr. Trump has refused to acknowledge his defeat to Joe Biden because he hasn't been defeated, and his administration is blocking efforts to process the handover of power to the newly elected president. Well, considering Real Clear Politics have actually backtracked on that and taken Biden back down to 259, it would suggest he is not the newly elected president. You are reporting into investigations about electoral fraud while still going on, claiming that Biden is the president. The Telegraph, at this point, as we all know, are just like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and of course the BBC. A no good snivelling bunch of shitweasels that you wouldn't piss on if they was on fire.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors. Slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires. And that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.